Welcome back to the channel, and in this video, I'm going to be looking at some crazy hovercrafts that people have built on the workshop. Now, what I mean by hovercraft, in case you are new to Trailmakers, are creations that use these hover blocks. So if you slap a handful of these hover blocks and a seat on something, you can see you end up hovering above the ground. However, if you want to get more creative like some people on the workshop do, then you end up coming up with stuff like this dizzy marble by Dark Soul, which is apparently inspired by something I created a long time ago, which was supposed to be a hover ball that was just surrounded by hover pads. But this thing not only does that, but it also has all of the hover pads on sections of spinning things. And I guess I can press space to... Oh, no way, I can turn my... I've never used these creations before. This is my first reaction seeing how they function. This is so good though, because I can control my seat in here with like all these gyroscopic layers. This is so awesome. This is so cool. Okay, and then I can try to face in what direction I want to go. I don't know why I started over here. Like this is meant for planes. This is where I left off my last video, I guess. So yeah, the point, I think I've proven the point that people can get pretty creative with hovercraft vehicles, and this is definitely one of them. I'm very impressed with this one. All right, up next, I'm pretty excited about these small compact ones because hover pads, they work good when you spread them out to keep some stability, but having a single line of hover pads in the middle of a vehicle, it's hard not to have it tilt left and right of the hover pads. But this is apparently a hover bike by Battleboy 805. And I'm actually gonna, let's go over to an actual road so we can drive the hover bike on a road and figure out how this works. Okay, so it looks like steering is a very subtle, oh boy, you can see the thrusters turn very subtly in the back there, which causes some pretty significant steering up in the front. And wait a minute, what's going on? I'm not hovering anymore. Why am I not? I'm not hovering anymore. When I'm not hovering, I can't. Hover pads, they are also subject to needing flat ground. When you're on uneven terrain, that can be a little bit of a problem for them depending on how you've utilized them. Here we go. Oh, no, interesting. Interesting. This is a hover bike that is afraid to go fast. Like when we're going a nice speed like this, it's not too bad. But when we go too fast, we end up, there's a little bit of a downwards angle, so our nose ends up going into the ground. Well, like I said, these creations are untested. I'm simply judging books by their cover and then opening the contents in the video for you guys to see. So up next here, we have Futuristic Hovercraft by Sharpshot. So this one has a wider distribution of the hover pads, which will make it a lot more stable. And interesting, you can see the reaction, the servo turning on there. And oh, I wonder what number 1 does. Here, let's turn around first. Make sure we're not gonna slam ourselves into anything or fall off the ground here. Fall off the ground, that doesn't sound right, but there's literally an edge to the ground, okay? All right, number 1. Oh, it turns the hover pads off. Oh, and we have skis. Oh no, wait, I feel like that's not a good idea. I feel like if you turn the hover pads off, it means you want to stop gliding across the ground, but they put skis underneath the hover pads, so you essentially keep hovering across the ground. All right, let's see how fast this thing can end up going. I feel like it doesn't have a lot of wind resistance here. It's pretty aerodynamically sound, as you can see. So even though it uses tiny little mini thrusters, it picks up a decent amount of speed, and it keeps us a decent oh, the skis help. Oh, I get it. That's why you have the skis under there, because when you hit the ground, you don't get stopped and slow down. That makes more sense now. All right, I get it. It still is a little bit of an issue when it comes to trying to actually stop. I just feel like this is such a thin vehicle. I just want to feed it. To the grinder for some reason. And I'm just working my way through. Okay, up next, I'm excited for this one because this is very different than what I normally see with hover pads. This seems to use hover pads to stabilize a bike. This is called the A4G Hovercycle version 2 by About 4 Gamers. So you can see I got the 2 wheels like a normal motorcycle. Oh, that's not what I was expecting. That is not at all what I was expecting to happen. What? Whenever I use any of my controls to like go forward or turn left and right, it lifts the wheels up? I thought it was just gonna be a bike that was balanced by hover pads. These things are just, these things are breaking my expectations every step of the way today. Normally, I feel like I'm pretty good at judging the books by their covers by looking at them, but today they're full of surprises. There we go. Now I can keep the wheels down while I boost. All right, but then when I try to turn, the wheels come back up. Okay, hold on, slow down, slow down. Wait, there's no backwards, is there? There's no backwards. There's no backwards. You have to turn around. Oh, yeah. I forgot if you're going fast enough, hover pads can let you glide over water. I should have just stuck with it. Okay, but we got other buttons here. E. All right, this is a weaponized hovercraft. And then number 2. Oh, number 2 turns them off. Wait. I gotta find out. I have to know. Can I drive without the hover pads? All right, let's gain some momentum first. And then we'll let the wheels down. There we go. And turn them off. Look at that. We're gliding, but we have no balance. And we have no steering. And actually, when I steer, my wheels come up anyway. All right, let's just take this thing over the water anyway, just because I was about to do that accidentally. There we go. The turning, it doesn't have the best turning. Okay, that is also broke expectations. I thought my creation was just gonna disintegrate, but it bounced backwards very far, and now I'm drowning. Well, at least it's still it's defending itself. It's shooting the... If it shoots enough water around it, it might survive, eventually. Eventually, it'll get rid of the ocean. All right, up next, we got another hover bike-looking thing. This is called Hovercraft by Baking Soda. And man, the design of this thing looks so cool. I love the angled panels on the sides. All right, let's see. All right, this thing definitely, it seems to be able to reach higher speeds than the last hover bike. Oh, interesting. This has some interesting aerodynamic feels to it as I turn left and right. You can see they're so cool. The tail fins in the back, the way that they're angled in and contoured to the body like that. I love the way that this is built. It looks so cool. By the way, for those of you who are aware of the decal updates, I actually subscribed to all of these creations before the decal update, so I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna give the workshop a little bit more time to look at some decal creations. But yeah, this is the video I was supposed to record last week and didn't have any time to. Let's see how it does with a ramp here. Probably not well. Oh, no. Whoa. What? It's got some weird auto-stabilization happening that did not have the results I was expecting. That seems to be the theme of this episode, though. Results I wasn't expecting. What happens if I slam into a barrel with something like this? For science. All right, that was worth it. All right, now for something a little bit different. This is the Cargo Hover Track by Loopcat. And excuse me, barrel. Excuse me, barrel. Well, this just kind of really puts into perspective how big these barrels are. This thing seems so big compared to the other creations I was looking at, and yet, even though it's a cargo hover truck, it's the size, the barrel is the size of the entire truck. Oh, that's interesting. This is how, when it turns, it actually leans itself. Oddly, it leans itself away from the turn. When I go to turn to the right, it puts the right hover pads down, which kind of leans me more to the left. I would expect it to be kind of the opposite, for it to lean into the turn. All right, so what does space do? Oh, that is such a cool door. Oh, that is a really cool door. I like how the light turns on and everything. Yeah, definitely couldn't fit one of these barrels in the back there. All right, we got some other stuff. H is horn, I assume. That's a beefy horn. X seems to be some type of like auto stop. That's interesting. This is actually pretty cool. So if I'm going and I let go of the controls, I just slide. But if I press X, it has an auto braking feature that actually keeps us in place. And that is super useful with hover pads specifically, because for example, I don't know how strong this auto brake is, or this auto stop is. But one of the big issues with hover pads is they slide and you basically have no friction, right? So if I try to stop on a surface like this and I do nothing, it's just, I'm just like I'm on wheels. I'm just gonna be floating and not able to really keep myself steady unless I constantly counteract the force like this. Oh, I don't even have enough power to counteract the force. But let's see what happens if I do auto stop as I go up here. And X, look at that. Now we're literally stopped on a slanted ground. Okay, it's trying. You can see it's trying at least. There we go. Now it's strong enough to keep us on this level of tilt. But as soon as I let go of X, then we start slowly sliding back down to level ground. So that's a pretty cool feature. That's the first time I've seen that in a hovercraft. I'm sure it's like a common thing and I just never came across it, but that's my first experience with it. So that was pretty cool. Wait, what? Wait, what? Why did that open? No, why did that... Why did that, did you see that? Why is that happening? Wait, if I get up. Oh, there must be a sensor for my head. I see. So when I was turning, something must have been happening that the sensor didn't detect me anymore, and then it ended up opening the cockpit. All right, up next, this has some real, like, futuristic, cyberpunky vibes. This is the Corbin Dallas flying taxi cab from the, oh, it's from the Fifth Element. Okay, by Rubes 85. The aesthetic of this is just, like, spot on. Oh, man, those thrusters in the back, though, those are dangerously close to the ground. They're practically sparking. I'm always surprised at the level of detail people are able to put into such, like, a small area. Because, like, there's really not a lot going on with the aesthetics of this, but at the same time, there really is. Like, the pieces are so carefully chosen to create the aesthetic, and they work so well. It's so hard to just find that combination that works well with so few pieces. All right, what does space do? Oh, space is to kind of give us a little bit of extra oomph. There's some gimbal jets in here. You can see underneath the middle of the cab, you can see the little white exhaust that shows up there that helps lift us up a little bit, make us a little bit more weightless, keep us from dragging on the ground too much. All right, I gotta crash this thing. I don't know why. It just has to happen, okay? It just seems like it's gonna be a beefy crash, you know? Here we go. It just destroyed itself completely. You never know if a creation is gonna just get a little bit damaged or completely disintegrate. All right, up next is a Sandworm speeder by Who's His Name? And this thing looks so cool. I'm assuming it's from, like, something. Like, this definitely feels like a Star Wars creation or something. This feels like it's some type of replica from, like, Star Wars or something like that, but I looked up Sandworm speeder and got no results anything like this. So if this is an original design, Mr. Who's His Name, this is a really impressive design. I like it. This is so cool looking. All right, oh my goodness, we have extra boost. Oh, look at that engine heat up in there. All right, I'm gonna crash this one at full speed. There we go. What do these signs mean? What do those signs mean? You see what I mean? Wait, what? That was I thought of anything, that one was gonna completely disintegrate on the first crash, but nope, we bounced a little bit there. Road closed ahead. Oh, that road? You see, that was the problem. They didn't warn me that there was a rock here. They were talking about the road, the detour, but nothing said watch out for rock. All right, anyway, up next, we've got the Over Racer by Dragon210392. And this reminds me, I don't know if any of you ever played that game Wipeout. I like back on like the original PlayStation, there was this game called Wipeout, and they had vehicles that looked somewhat similar to this. And yeah, this just gives me Wipeout vibes. This is such a cool creation. And how is this? Oh, this isn't actually using hover pads. This is using gimbals. That's actually harder to do. The gimbals need a lot more like import regulation and automation if you're gonna keep it at a regular height like this. I'm surprised at how level this thing stays using only gimbal jets, because the hover pads, they just like, hey, we're gonna try to stay away from the ground this distance with a very strong force. The gimbal ones are, I'm just gonna lift you up, and as long as you tell me. So there's definitely, you can see the sensors. There's sensors in the front turning on and off. There's sensors in the back turning on and off, and those are what are determining whether the gimbal jets turn on and off. On and on and off and off and off and off. Yeah, I'm not sure what space does, but it appears that left shift is to just apply the brakes. So let me get some speed here first. This is so interesting how it controls. And then when I press left shift, you can see all of the fins open, and that causes us to slow down a lot faster. That is so cool looking. Look at that thing. And then turning is also done by them. It just does it on one side or the other, and that helps you turn. So that's pretty cool. I like the control scheme of this a lot. It's very like, it has a realism aspect to it, even though this is nothing like anything we have in real life, but you know what I mean. All right, then up next by my Medic Soup, this is called the Glissade, which is apparently a transforming hovercraft or so. Okay. Wait, what? Oh my goodness. It hovers the minimum possible distance. Like, I feel like I'm floating, but I don't look like I'm floating. This is kind of insane at how low you can see the hover pads in there. Like, they're doing a thing. They're doing things, right? Yeah, and like, I don't really have any friction as I go sideways. How is it so smooth when it looks like it's literally riding across the ground? That is so weird. Okay, so I got some more buttons. Q and E. Okay, apparently there's roll. L is for lights. We got some lights up in the front. X. Oh, of course, it's got weapons as well. All right, and then number 1 is supposed to have some type of transformation. Wait, what just... It's like I jumped. Wait, that was so weird. Okay, so it seems like it just gets a little bit Wait, what's happening? This is a really weird creation. Once again, I had expectations, and they're not happening how I expected. Sometimes it like goes up, and sometimes it goes down. That is interesting, though. It seems to like open and close. I don't know why, though. Whoa. Whoa, that was kind of fancy. Okay, I think I'm noticing something here with this. I'm gonna go off a jump in its current state. Expanded. Oh. That is also not what I was expecting. Okay, now let me contract it and do this again. Okay. That, I think, answers the difference. Now if I press 1... I don't know. I honestly don't know if doing 1 does anything functionally or if it's just an aesthetic change. It does feel like, honestly, it actually does feel like number 1 makes me easy. It makes me levitate at a solid height. Like if I just stop right now. All right, here's the test. Here's the test. If I just stop right now, you can see I'm kind of floating here, but going down gradually. If I press number 1, now I start falling out of the air. All right, I figured it out. I knew there had to be more to the transformation than I initially thought. I figured it out. When you press number 1 to transform, it kind of locks your height so that you can stay level with whatever height you're at, and then you can actually pitch and fly around. This uses a hover pad glitch. You can see the hover pads that are facing up into like there's a surface covering them. That creates some really weird artifacts to kind of stabilize your vehicle and provide different like forces. They have them on the bottom and the top, which I think are helping us stay level like this. Well, that is definitely pretty high tech. All right, let's lower it a little bit, get down to the ground. Oh, that was a little rough. Did I lose a hover pad? I think I might have lost a hover pad up in the... Nope, no, we're good. I'm all good. Everything is perfectly fine. I thought, once again... I thought I was just gonna explode into a bunch of pieces, but I'm mostly alive somehow. All right, I don't know what you expected for this video, but a lot of what happened is not what I expected for this video, so I hope you enjoyed it either way. If you did, you'll probably enjoy some more stuff that you can find on the channel right here on the end screen. Hope this video has earned your subscription. Anyway, this has been ScrapMan, and I'll see you next time. Bye.